Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Lines Forever. Today, I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1, also known as the Blue Team in the Northwest, ending with Team 2, also known as the Red Team in the Southeast. Starting off with Team 1 Southern player, then working northward, we have in Amethyst Purple, Scarecrow as a 1534 rating, as a Cybran for this match. To his north, we have in Royal Blue Kamer as a Cybran as well. He is a 1720 rated, the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall. And last but not least, just shy of 1500 rating at 1499. It's not me. He is a Seraphim. He is in Stitch Blue. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 Cybrans and 1 Seraphim. No UEF, no Aeon for Team 1 or Blue Team, depending on whether or not you like the numbers or the color for the team. Starting off with Team 2's Northern player or Red Team's Northern player, then working our way southward, we have in Ruby Red, Freshy as a little bit over 1502 rating. And again, he is a Cybran for this match in Ruby Red. To his south, we have in Chevy Crimson, I Make War on You. He is a Cybran as well at 1695, so almost a 1700 rated. He's the highest rated player on Team 2. And last but not least, another Cybran for Team 2. It is Red Visimosis. He is not in red. He is in orange, the color orange. But he's at least on the red team, so that makes it a little bit easier to keep track of where he is in what placement on what team. And like I said again, he is a Cybran at 1664 rating. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have only Cybrans, which means for the entirety of this match, there are no UEF and no Aeon. Apologies to those loyal to the Princess and loyal to the Old Earth Empire. Hopefully you enjoy the game nonetheless. And Team 2 also lacks the Seraphim faction. We almost had a full Cybran v Cybran matchup for those Cybran fans. Well, I hope you enjoy this game. Taking a look at the reclaim here so far for these 6 players, currently sitting at over 16,000 mass in reclaim, which means it is 2,500 mass per player, roughly. I'm trying to do math on the fly here. That is a ton of mass to scoop up. And in terms of the mass point layouts, we got a quad mech over here and another quad mech over here. We also have I'd say that's a Trimex with a couple of one-offs nearby and a couple of mexes in the middle to grab. Besides that, that's really it to fight over. There's a couple of mexes up here, but a lot of this map is covered in this mountainous terrain. You can see the middle of the map. It does look like units can go through these little kind of alleyways, but it's going to be very difficult to get large land armies through this environment, which either means players are going to go heavy air, or they're just going to stick to this area of the map over here where It's Not Me is, or just this little narrow neck over here where Red and Scarecrow are going to square off. And with that out of the way, let's take a look at what our players are going for. We do see that 2 players on Team 2 heading to the northeast. We already see, of course, It's Not Me is already over there. We also see that Kamer is going down the middle here, so he's maybe trying to ambush or even just kind of scoot down the middle here in this nice little upside down U-shaped formation, or T distribution, I guess is another way to put it. And then we have in the southwest, Red and Scarecrow are going at it, going for reclaim. All these tiny little rocks trying to get as much mass in their coffers as they possibly can. We do see a lot of spam outbound from a couple of players in the game. That's mainly just to annoy the other side of the map, which is, units running around going after engineers. It has slowed down Team 2's expansion a tiny smidgen, not a whole lot, but every minute, every second, every millisecond does make a difference, and we already see some hunters nearby to deal with those incursion hunters. I guess that is Kamer. He's a Cybran, yet those would be hunters. I'm going to have to make sure I remember that there is another faction in this game. It's Not Me, Seraphim. So I can't just say the name of units for the most part. I usually just refer to tanks, and maybe I've referred to names once in a while. But, there are different names like Selens and Thams and that sort of thing. Speaking of Selens, we do have a nice little one over here trying to be escorted by a couple of Thams. We do see a Mantis is intercepting. Almost grabbed that Selen. but they are going to try to at least deny this quad mech's position. It's going to be very hard for It's Not Me to try to hold that. So it's going to be more about delaying than anything else. In the southwest, it looks like it's just kind of, again, back and forth. Red has taken a decent amount of damage, almost back up into the red. Sorry, into the green, excuse me. It's Not Me, but Scarecrow is going for a T2 upgrade. A little bit over half. He's a little bit more weakened than his mirror, but it's going to be more of a long slog just because it is a narrow environment here. You can see, you can look all the way down the canyon. It's almost like Baker's Canyon from Star Wars, Tatooine, that sort of thing. Like just a thin, narrow canyon. Maybe I'll name that as the thumbnail in the video. Anyway, we do see that now. Kamer is pushing north and then east, coming in to shore up defenses here for It's Not Me. Don't know why he just didn't go straight down the middle this way, but maybe he just wants to avoid these units in the middle. Transport with a couple of scouts inbound. Looks like they are going to get shot down. Unfortunately, the transport was going to drop, but that interceptor came back and, well, intercepted the transport and shot it down. T2 upgrade progressing here for It's Not Me in the northeast. And like I said, this environment is very difficult for land armies. You can see tons and tons and tons of mountains terrain around the edges as well. Essentially, they're in a bowl where they can't really escape. They can only just go around. I mean, there are kind of edges of the maps that are exposed, but they aren't really that much value besides the quad max positions. So it's going to be, again, mainly focused on these two main avenues. Some units are going to be, as we see, going down the middle here. But as we get to T3, those units are going to have a harder and harder time navigating effectively. So it's really going to boil down to this section and this section of the map. We do see a possible run by us on the cards here for Freshy, trying to get in and around the Utashala inbound from It's Not Me. Another one is being built. Couple of artillery also able to try to just deal with the one that is being built. Unfortunately for them, it does get finished off. A couple of units do break through, start going after a couple of engineers, but for the most part, I mean, they are going to be dealt with. There is a T1 PD. It takes out one of those units. There's a lot of engineers inbound, so these couple of Mantis will deal with a couple of mexes. I'd say maybe 4, maybe 5 by the time units respond, maybe 3. At a minimum. Oh, they don't finish off that max. That's unfortunate. There are units inbound here from It's Not Me to deal with this incursion. Looks like they're going after hydrocarbon. Not the best choice. They could easily go after mexes. And then now they're going to be outnumbered. And, oh, just got triple killed by that bomber. Great snipe there. They were going to die anyways, but might as well do it in style at this point. Nice little Selene over here to the east. Just hanging out. You know, nice little cloaking. Just providing some intel. Not really harming nobody, just a little bit of intel and vision here for Team 1. You can see this is what that someone can see, but, you know, it's something. It's better than nothing, and it is a narrow environment, which means they will see everything that passes through in that little avenue. We do see now I Make War on You sitting here on the hillside trying to stop this incursion of mantises. I think I'm going with mantises. I think that's the word I'm going to go with. And he's just standing up on that hill, looking down at his opponent. He has the high ground, but will the high ground serve him, or will he just be swarmed? We're going to have to wait and see. Gun and T2 on board here for It's Not Me. We do see that Freshy is actually retreated from the front line. Doesn't have any upgrades on board, just sending transports in to cut down on travel time for some units. Stealth almost done for Red. Visimosis, he has gun already. We do see that Scarecrow is going for T2 as we speak. So it's going to be a little bit more of a defensive play here for Team 1 and a more of an offensive play here for Team 2. We'll see which team ends up being the victor in that regard. We do see that Freshy over here to the east is about to be bombarded by incoming units, not only from the north but from the west, going to be essentially double teamed and pincer maneuvered. We do see some units are building over here for I Make War on You as well, so it might be a counter gank inbound. We'll see if that happens or not. I don't know if this is going to go well here for Team 2. We can see that Team 1 is just pressuring the main land side of things. Maybe they'll make a comeback down here. If you're rooting for Team 2, it's not looking super good, but again, we're only 12 minutes into about a 50 or so minute game, so plenty of time for either team to either succeed or fail, depending on what your viewpoint is on what team you want to win. I know I have viewers that are commenting that Team 2 will always be the one that they vote for. They'll always vote for Team 1. Can't change their minds, but in most games you have a 50-50 shot of being right every time. So that that's really, really good odds. We do see that Stealth is almost on board. We'll give him a slight advantage, of course, because now Radar cannot detect him unless there's Omni or Vision nearby. We do see that Team 2's defensive position is being bombarded by missile fire, and there's just a lot of wall sections that deter any sort of pathfinding endeavors. But of course, missiles don't have to worry about pathfinding because they go from the ground to the air to the ground again, so they don't have to deal with walls. We do see that, it's not me not able to target Freshie's commander because, well, he just can't see him. And that is the benefit of having, stealth on board that commander. Unfortunately, he can be seen. We do see some air scouts going to provide some vision, be able to target said commander. We'll give him a little bit of intelligence on that, but unfortunately it won't last super long because, of course, that signature does go away. Freshie is gaining a decent amount of veterancy here. Not as much as I would expect. I think most of his T2 units are really doing the heavy lifting in that regard. Essentially, he's just the bullet sponge in this point because he's, well, a comm that has 12,000 hit points, and his units have 500, so kind of a bullet sponge in that regard. We do see that in the south, Red has not only gone for the stealth, but also the nano. So lots of regen on board that commander. Is a third of the way there to his first star. Going to run into a rocket bot, annihilate that thing, and force this group of Vipers and some Rhinos back. And again, still missiles launching over there constantly. Lots of T2 units here. They are, of course, the hoplites a little bit weaker than most T2 units. We do see that it's not being able to deal with them quite easily. Overcharge, couple of shots, not really a big issue for him. Of course, you trade the hit points for the range. Of course, the Ilshis, man, do they not trade anything. They are the best T2 unit in the game. T2.5 in my opinion. 2,500 hit points, good fire rate, and they just start wiping the field over here. We do see that Freshie needs to be careful because he can be easily swarmed by those Ilshis. They move very quickly. So it's going to be a huge back and forth, but large T2 force. I would like to see some flak. I'd like to see, the Seraphim don't get T2 shields, they get T3 shields, but when he gets T3 shields, get T3 shields. But it's not me taking a lot of firepower from all of these hoplites. They're focusing that comm. We could see the first departure of the game here. Ilshi's coming in to just try to cleanse the area. Those Ilshis have done a great job in doing that. Freshie not looking great here. Now he's surrounded by Ilshis. I did warn him through the ether that this might happen. Drops below 3,000 hit points, 2,100, and there he goes. I couldn't keep up with the numbers. And that is the first casualty of the game at 16 minutes. Now puts this game at 3v2 in favor of the northern team of Team 1. We do see some random units die. Don't really know what that's about. Is it a... No, it's not a partial share game? I don't think it's a partial share game. I think it's a full share game. I don't know. It definitely looked like just a bunch of units died. It could just be control King old units to scoop up later. Looks like they're all interceptors, so that's possibly just Team 1's Kamer just essentially cleansing his... not queue, but his stack of air units, which I don't blame him. Getting control A and then having a bunch of units on field or on screen, kind of annoying to deal with, or different types of units, I should say. A couple of bombers try to stop It's Not Me from this shield being built, but unfortunately it is now done. He will now lock out Team 2 from this quad mech position and possibly might encroach onto this eastern side over here and just grab that other quad mechs. You do see in the middle, Team 1 owns it most handedly. There's only a couple of mexes to grab, but still, 4, 5, 6 mexes does make a difference as time goes on. Team 1 mexes, that's 12 mass a second. And then if they're all T2 mexes, that's 24 mass. Wait. 2 times 6 is 12. 6 times... Oh, sorry, 36. That's 36 mass. I was like, that sounds a little low. That's 36 mass a second. That is a chunky mass extractor worth of T3 variety. You see one little brick trying to dodge. And we'll take out 4 2 T2 mexes. Some of them were going to be ringed, but one was. That is a hefty amount of mass. that Team 1's Kamer is losing per second. And again, as a reminder, Team 2's IMEC1U, their highest rated player, just barely, has dual bases, so has a lot of eco, 300 mass per second, producing more mass than anybody in the game by a decent margin. His teammate only at 80. You can see It's Not Me is at 190. That is his rival in the mass, and he's not even at well, he's just crossed 200. But specifically Team 2's IMEC1U is going to be the player to watch out for. He's pumping out ASFs, pumping out an air grid, trying to gain some control in a different realm. He's losing land, so he might as well fight in the air. You do see a couple of gunships running around for Kamer. The Whalers, they're a nice hybrid of the, as I call it, the Restorer and the Broadsword, where they have decent land damage and decent air damage. They're not perfect. They're like a jack of all trades kind of thing in that regard. Jack of two trades, I guess, in that regard. Hopefully everybody watched my video with the Duelists yesterday, and hopefully you checked out the Duelists video. I had a huge opportunity to do that. Huge fun opportunity. I really loved it. We had a great time, and I hope to do more videos with him in the future. Anyway, that's a little shill for my video and also for his video, so hopefully if he watches this one, he'll appreciate that little shout out. Anyway, we see a nice little firebase up online. Couple of hives, very interesting. We'll probably keep the shields online for a little bit longer, going for upgrades to expand the shield. That's the only issue. I think we talked about this in one of either that video or my video or his video, is that when you build the T3 shield for the Cybrans, you don't build the highest level of shield. You build ED4 and then you upgrade to ED5, which is very weird that you wouldn't just build the best one anyways. But maybe the devs wanted to, maybe they thought it was a little bit not OP but a little broken that you just build all the way to 5 without skipping the upgrades mechanic, which is fine that you want to keep that mechanic at T3, that you just upgrade 1. But I don't know, I feel like you should just upgrade, or when you build a T3, you should just get the best shield. So that's my 2 cents about that. Anyways, couple of bricks in this facility here for Red. Red trying to body block with a Loyalist, trying to EMP it for a little bit. Doesn't go that well. This brick does go down. There's 2 more remaining. There's 1 brick under multiple shields. We do see more bricks and equipment inbound. Couple of trebuchets will turn around and try to target those moving units. Very difficult to do that with artillery because they shoot where they are most of the time, not where they're going. You can see the shots kind of miss. But artillery bombardment just being traded back and forth in that southwestern corner. Again, very slow game in that regard, just because you're very much confined. It does give these 2 players some time to eco up. So instead of just pumping units, they can be like, oh, I have to pump out some units, get some PD, and then I'll probably eco for a little bit. And that's pretty much what's been happening. We see Red's now at 138, and Scarecrow a little bit behind at 106. But again, it's not really a huge part of the map in terms of mass extractor locations to really worry about it. We do see T3 Mex is done for Red there. I don't know why he built it there, but maybe he just had already engineers over there and they fell back. Maybe, I don't know. In the east still, Team 1's It's Not Me holding position, has a lot of these, not going to pronounce those names, T2 mobile missile launchers as well as some PD. There's some flak in there. Would like to see a little bit more. He does have TMD. He could very well benefit from a missile launcher here, because I see some TMD, but not too much. There is a monkey about to be finished off, though, for Team 2's IMEC1U at 23 minutes. And at 23 minutes on the clock, let's take a look at the game overall. Team 1 has 3 players left. Team 2 has 2 players left, being Freshie as the only casualty of war so far in this game. Team 1 sitting at 570, 600. I'll just say 600. Team 2 sitting at 540. So about 60 mass more for Team 1 in total, which is a decent chunk to be ahead. It's about 10% more. I think that's, yeah, 10% more in terms of Team 2 versus Team 1. But let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please do all the fanciful YouTube things. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets, because as always, your pets deserve quality content as well, not just us humans. We do see that Red has actually joined the front once again in the southwest. Transports get shot down, but he is here with his nano and gun. He's had this for a while. He's now at 1-star veterancy, trying to deal with these 2 bricks. He's lost his facility here, but again, as I pointed out, he's lost 1 mex. Out of that whole thing, 1 mex is down. TMD going down. That's going to open some doors for some tactical missiles inbound. I don't see any yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, he already has some here for Scarecrow, so we might be launching them shortly. And those bombers now going after T3 mexes. Takes out the mass storage, so it cuts out on the income a little bit. And is that a missile? That's artillery. It looks like Red not feeling super well, but going for reclaim, trying to scale his eco even faster. In the east, that monkey lord has punched through the firebase here for It's Not Me, and has now said, no, sir, you are not going to get any sort of foothold. TMD and PD are going down. He is running for his life. Facility in the north, again, kind of isolated. Same thing over here to the east. Not really any issue with incursions over there. I would love to see some air fights over here on this northeastern section of the map, but I don't know if that's happening, or along this southwest, but I think that'd be more dangerous because there's a lot more time for Team 1 or Team 2 to detect that. Gunships inbound, trying to force back this experimental. That laser providing a lot of damage here for this army. Of course, it's trying to target anything and everything, and it's kind of hard to target everything when you're firing at, well, everything. But you see those PD are trying to hold, getting lots of damage on the monkey. Drops it into the low yellows, and now we have an air fight over top. Looks like Team 2's player of IMEC1U will win that fight. Of course, most of that was, of course, funded by the remains of Freshie. Just the fact, of course, base and all of that. That monkey is going to go down. The PD has almost ripped it to shreds. And the AA on board the monkey isn't great. There are some whalers inbound. Will they get the kill? 1,500 hit points and falling, 1,200 hit points and falling. Gets a rank in veterancy, though, at a crucial moment. And now this quad max position is down. Team 1's player of It's Not Me is fleeing. He has no defenses besides a chicken. So I guess he has more defenses than I thought he did. He just finished that, so that will most handedly win this land fight. Unfortunately, there are mexes going down. He's really going to be feeling that in the pocketbook for a while. A couple of PE emplacements trying to be built. They might be enough to hold off the monkey. The monkey does have a decent long-range cannon, though. It's not the best, but it's something. The lasers. Oh, will the laser weapons be enough? No, they won't. The monkey is still fine. More PDs being built back here. It is going to get another rank in veterancy, though. So if it does get high enough, it could survive, but it does look like, oh, it's going to go down. 3,000 hit points, another volley. No, it's actually fine. Good job, monkey. Stays alive, gets another rank in veterancy, 4-star monkey, and of course these bricks, most of them break off from the main group to retreat. I love this. IMEC1U like, I'm going to have some losses. I'm not going to be able to get all of my units back, but at least get most of them. He sends some detachment to go after the rest of those mexes. Taking out 6 mexes plus this quad mech position, which is 10, 11, 12, 16 mexes were taken offline. Huge loss for It's Not Me. He was the leader for his team in Eco, which he still is, but not by much. Scarecrow at 200 as well, so he has significantly dropped. Team 1 still in the lead for mass income overall, though. But I should have checked before this whole incursion happened. But that is a huge, huge loss. And the monkey makes it out. The chicken trying to catch up to it. I think the monkey is slightly faster than the chicken. I mean, he has 6 legs. That has 2 legs, you would assume. But everybody knows what happens when you assume and whatnot. Air fight going to happen over top of the air grid here between Team 1 and Team 2. Going to airlock Team 1 for a little bit. AA, of course, going to be spammed up to try to shoo them away. But this is going to be a nice airlock. Nuke is online, just built here for Team 1's It's Not Me. That's what he was funneling most of that mass towards after he finished his chicken. And that is going to be a huge, huge weapon in Team 1's arsenal. No SMD anywhere for Team 2. They know about it. I mean, the ASFs literally flew over it. So they knew about the chicken a little bit ago, but couldn't stop it, of course. Chicken, of course, as we're talking about the chicken, is being bombarded by brick fire. Lots of bricks opening up, trying to distract and spread apart so the AoE doesn't annihilate them. The monkey will sacrifice itself. It got to 4-star efficiency. It will try to kill the chicken. The monkey will die, but the brick force will avenge the monkey and kill off that chicken. So, is it great? No. Is it not bad? Yeah, it's not bad. We do see a couple of bricks down here. Red just really just throwing just a couple of units to everywhere to just harass Team 1. We do see that now Team 1 Scarecrow pushing back Team 2's Red quite significantly. He's taken out 3 of his mexes, almost actually a 4th because that was a T3 if I recall. There is a monkey, so that will shore up defenses there. But this Beggar's Canyon area of the map, very dangerous to take, very dangerous to hold, because you got a lot of territory to try to take to be able to get to a main base. Luckily, once he's out of this canyon, he's in the main base for Red. Red going for laser, very interestingly enough. I like how the monkey just sat there and waited for the brick force to be like, yeah, they can move, you know, a couple meters closer. No big deal. It makes it easier on the engineers to scoop up. We do see the ASF in the middle of the map just hanging out, not really doing a whole lot. But I feel like Team 1's Nuke is going to do a lot of damage. I can see that possibly going for the air grid. There is a brick force inbound, though, and there are a lot of PD, decent amount of shields to protect that Nuke. The comm of It's Not Me is coming back from his deployment over to the east. He has nano gun and T2. Doesn't have advanced nano, but it's something. Couple being 1, I should say. Actually, no, more are inbound. Restorers. Whalers are inbound. Their target should be that Nuke. Lots of Team 1 PD. They're going to go after the comm instead. They're going to get a kill. I don't know. They probably could have gone after the Nuke as well. I don't know, but they wanted to go for the kill. Again, it's kind of one of those hard situations of do you go for the Nuke? There was a lot of PD build, so the land forces didn't really have any sort of charge through. There was a decent amount of AA. Of course, more AA was built back here as well. So it's just one of those calculated moves that do you go for the kill and give somebody else on the other team another base, or do you try to go for the Nuke, not get the kill, and maybe not even get the Nuke? So it definitely a hard scenario. Not sure where our air guy gets his rank, says Kamer. Again, I am not an authority on ranking or that sort of thing because I'm just a lonely little 3-digit guy. I think I'm 500, 400, something like that. I forget what number I am. I've been distracted playing Satisfactory and Frostpunk. If you haven't seen my video on Frostpunk 2, go check it out. Very, very fun game. I really enjoyed the first one, and I think we actually talked about it in one of the Duelist and I's videos. But really, really, really fun game. Really been enjoying it. They changed how the story works a little bit, so I kind of like it, how it functions, but I've only done like the first third of it. So there's still at least 2 more videos I'm going to put out on the game, at least at a minimum, so hopefully everybody's looking forward to that. Anyway, Nuke is trying to be shot at, but unfortunately shields are being assisted. There's already a decent amount of shields nearby, and there's a lot of flak in AA being T3 and flak being T2. They do get the shields, then the Nuke is going to launch immediately. It does take some damage, but that Nuke is inbound, and I would presume it is going for the air grid, which it is. Looks like Red's going to go there. Not the best place to go, I might add. That is going to be a big, big Nuke. It's the first Nuke of the game. It's going to open up a huge hole in Team 2's defense and offense capabilities. Lots of Corsairs running around now. Again, trying to snipe at that Nuke. But this is going to be huge. Let's watch the Nuke come in. There it goes. Goes right in the middle of that grid. Boom! There it goes. Everything. Nothing survived. I would have liked it probably a little bit lower. Maybe right about here. I tried to clip a couple more mexes. But at least the air grid is down at the minimum. Let's say 65,000 mass. No, it's only 50. That was only 50? Huh. I thought that was a lot more. Anyway, but still, 50,000 mass. Really good Nuke. And more importantly, it's not just how much mass that was killed, but what was killed. And that was 1 mex, which is, not bad. But the entirety of the air grid. That's a lot of power that iMech War on you doesn't have anymore. He still has some power, but that's a huge chunk of his, eco in terms of power, his air power. Huge, huge win here for Team 1. Gunships inbound going after the space over to the west. Scarecrow no longer there. It would be a great grab to grab that Omni. Looks like, I don't know what they're going for. Looks like they're just going to go after whatever's in this base. There is a monkey just sitting here hanging out, but shields are down. They're going after hives. There's a couple of missile launchers still here. They've gotten a decent amount of kills and damage worth about 9,000. It's right there. It's right there. Go for the Omni. It's right there. Air fight doesn't happen, but it looks like Kamer's just waiting to send his forces in. Crab going in for the nuke once again for Team 2, but that fails. Team 2 is just dumping mass on that nuke's doorstep. Target the Omni, please. Target the Omni, please. Please target the Omni. I get it, you just want to clean everything out, but the Omni would be like the most important thing in this map. I think that's the only one Team 1 has that I can tell. Yeah, that's the only one that they have, so that'd be a great thing to knock. It's still alive! Why? Why is this here? I'm not like rooting for Team 1 or Team 2 and trying to stay impartial as much as possible, but why is that still there? Okay, to be fair, the monkey is killed. That's a fair grab. I get that. But still. Okay, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. There it goes. There goes the Omni. Wow, that was really concerning how long it took to kill the Omni. I mean, I get it. He's probably distracted doing a bunch of stuff. He has a land fight over here. I get it. But knocking out your opponent's radar system and Omni sensor as well on top of that, huge for essentially saying you can't see anymore. Nah, try to see me. Especially for Cyberns, where they, a decent amount of their, versatility is stealth. You have the common that has stealth and cloaking. You have the fire beetles that have cloaking. You have the deceiver that's used for, again, deceiving enemy radar. Decent amount of versatility and usability that's knocked out by an Omni sensor. So anytime Cyberns can take that out, that'd be a great win in my opinion. Omni is rebuilt though up here, but again, it's not as far forward. This map isn't huge, to be fair. So the Omni takes out essentially the entire area of Team 1's main bases. This being here, it pretty much saw everything close to the main base for Team 2. Or at least for Red at a minimum. So yeah, it wasn't like directly in the middle, but it still provided a lot of radar. So again, it's something is always better than nothing, but what they had was better in my opinion. We do see that the Hastue T3 strategic missile launcher is almost done loading once again. 2-star veteran Z on board that thing. I wonder what its next target is going to be. Red did build an SMD in his base, and it is loaded. No efforts to rebuild the air grid as of yet. SMD over here is not loaded. So that could be another target. Take out the T3 land headquarters. Take out the T2 to T3 air headquarters going up. Lots of things to take out over here to the east for I Make War on You. And Team 2, look at their eco. They've skyrocketed into the lead. 800 plus versus not even 600. That's because of all this pressure that Team 2's been mounting all this time. Monkey v chicken fight. Well, I mean, I can only tell you that most of the time that's only going to go one way, as evidenced by that. The monkey is down. More bricks coming in. Lots of course, experimentals being built here by both of these teams. Crab almost done here for Team 1. Chicken over here. Another chicken possibly being built? No. But they scooped up that crab, though. There's definitely scoop it up. Oh, look, another crab over here. So Kamer's building 2. Actually, excuse me. Kamer's building 1, and Scarecrow is building 1. So 2 experimentals at the same time. Double dipping there. There goes Kamer's. His is done, and then that one should be done here shortly. Team 2, do you have more experimentals? More monkeys. No crabs, very interestingly, for Red. His SMD is loading quite quickly here. It's about to finish. The nuke should be done loading by now. Bug inbound from the north, going all the way around here. Is going to do any damage, though. It's already dropped half of its hit points. It's going after the mexes. It could go after the air grid. Oh, but it just doesn't get to it in time. Huge loss for Team 2. Huge loss. There are some gunships inbound, though, but they're not going to fare much better in terms of attack power, or staying power, I should say, versus the bug. But the distraction does allow for some pigeon damage to occur. This would be a great one. There it goes. Now the pigeon goes down. This one would be another good one to go after. Go after more facilities. 3 more to go. 2 more to go. Just a little bit of damage. They're going after Kamer's commander. He should be fine, though. He has a lot of AA. There's a pigeon right there that's almost dead. But the rest of that air-to-ground weaponry is dealt with. The nuke, I was going to say, has not launched it, but there it goes. Unfortunately, it's going after Team 2's Eastern player of Nuke, but the SMD is loaded. Now here's the question. Did Team 1 edge nuke it? Ooh, it's going to be close because that's the nuke up there. There is a line. We can see the nuke inbound. Is it going to get caught? Is it going to get caught? It is going to get caught. Very unfortunate for Team 1. That nuke loaded, SMD loaded a little bit too soon. We do see this nice little fire base up here for Team 2's red just in the northeast corner. T3 facilities pumping out some bricks. That kind of allowed the air power that we saw from War, you kind of have this nice little corkscrew maneuver and come all the way around. I did see it. Somebody used the environment to their advantage, at least in terms of the air fight in that regard. Love to see that. Chicken and Crab pushing forward against a bunch of engineers. Oh, just do the reclaim play. Just send all your engineers and just hit reclaim and try to just take out hit points that way. That'd be very entertaining. No. Okay, well they're on attack orders, so the Crab and the Chicken will deal with a lot of them here shortly. Is there one? Did it die somehow? There's also an SMD. Scout this. So it looks like there's conversation about SMDs. There is an SMD right here for Team 1's Kamer. I don't know if it was killed off or not, but it was just built moments ago. Team 2 does have a nuke, and they are loading it, and they're going to try to probably load it as fast as possible. It would be huge if that nuke could kill the nuke for Team 1. That is Team 1's biggest play in this game. That's their trump card. They've already used it a couple of times. It worked once. It failed the second time. The air grid looks like it's finally being rebuilt. And of course, T3 air facility was over here, but that's, of course, segmented out from the main grid. Very good idea to do that. Chicken is inbound. Going to be facing off against a couple of monkeys as well as a crab here shortly. See that chicken. It's really hard to get a nice little view on the canyon. But here come the monkeys. They are moving around. PD being built as fast as possible as well. Chicken going to retreat. Monkeys, are they going to push in? No. Looks like the chicken's going to wait for the crab, and then they're going to push in at one time. That's definitely a better strategy. I feel like the chicken possibly could have taken at least one of the monkeys, but waiting could be a detriment. Team 2's Red's building another monkey. 3 monkeys. Decent amount of attack power. Looks like Bomber's inbound going after something. Also looks like Red's having some power issues right now. Well, he's not going to have some power issues now after he's done with that monkey, so that should fix things here shortly. In the middle to the northeast, Crab and Chicken go down to Corsair Fire. Team 1, where is your air power? You desperately need to deal with this. You took out Team 2's air grid. You should be in the lead for air, but I just don't see that much air power. Only sitting at 4 ASFs and a spy plane. Not Red, but Warren, sitting at 14 with 13 Corsairs and a couple of bingo on fuel. That is fresh. He doesn't have any units anymore. And then we see Red with a couple of strap bombers. Don't know why he has those, but he has them. The Chicken and the Crab moving in together. The Chicken is badly damaged. It does have a rank in veterancy, though, so 10% more hit points. But he's going to be facing off against 3 monkeys. Decent amount of PD, a couple of shields. Is there any artillery in the mix? There is artillery being built back here. So there are a lot of defenses being built and going to be built. And there are some Gunther fire, of course, landing next to a couple of these units. Either Scarecrow sends them in now or he calls them back. He is going to send them in. There they go. They are inbound. Monkeys waiting to get the go-ahead. They're essentially going to probably wait till they get pretty close and then just kind of rush them. Strap Bombers inbound, going to help deal with a couple of those units. And Corsairs also coming to assist here. They're going after the Chicken first, going after the weaker experimental PD. Those tickle cannons opening up a couple of bricks, trying to help as well. They do not help that much, but They do help a little bit, which is better than nothing. And there go the monkey and chicken fight plus the crabs. The monkey is down. No, monkey. The crab is down, excuse me. The monkey is now down. That second monkey is going to go down. And that third monkey is sitting on the southern edge of this little, canyon entrance. Strap bombers and corsairs constantly raining fire in from overhead. That is going to severely help this monkey deal with this crab. And there goes the crab. Huge reclaim field here for red to grab. I think it's sitting at, I'll be 50,000 at a minimum. On the map, there's 183,000 mass, so about a fourth or so sitting in red's doorstep, or sitting on his doorstep. Wow, I can't say in or on correctly. Builds another monkey, because why not? There isn't anything really down the pipeline for now for Team 1. We do see a nice little SACU running around, but there is another crab that's going to be built. Air grid being re-expanded upon. I know Kamer did lose his air grid, to be fair, but he had a while where he had the only air grid, so I kind of expected more ASFs from him in that time. Crab sitting here on top of a dead relative, and that's not going to feel good for his ancestors, that's for sure. That nuke is loaded, has not fired yet. Team 1, how's your SMD? It is loaded, so that does protect the nuke. I would like to see a backup SMD just in case. Corsairs inbound trying to break up a little bit of this lineup. Unfortunately, most of them get wiped out in the initial pass, and then as they turn around, they get wiped out once more. Looks like they're trying to target all of the flak or some of the T3 tanks, but they don't do that much damage. In chat, looks like Freshy's talking about where's your Omni, by the way. And it looks like they don't have an Omni. Oh, very bad. Bad. Don't do that. You need to have an Omni somewhere. Looks like they're building one as we speak over here. And it's done. Never mind. And this one's kind of in the middle of the map, so they can get a little bit more range on what's going on. I do love the fact that they've also paired it with a Soothsayer. So not only do they get a bunch of vision out of it, they also get a bunch of Omni radar sensor vision or radar. Huge benefit, especially on this size of a map. I mean, that's a fourth of the map at a minimum, and if you're talking about playable map, that's probably a third, if not close to half, that Team 2 can just see all the time. If you see this crab is going to retreat. This one just standing stalwart, not really worrying about anything. Nuke is inbound. Team 2 is going for the nuke for Team 1. This SMD is loaded, so it's going to be shot down. There are some strap bombers that have built up a little bit for IMEC War on you. He has only 3 of them. That's not going to crack the shielding. That nuke is going to get shot down. I don't know if they have this kind of 1-2 punch mentality of like, we'll just fire the nuke, get rid of the SMD, then fire another one maybe. The crab does get defeated in that exchange. This one might go down. There are more bricks. The strap bombers also to assist. But mostly Team 1 units now, mostly artillery at this point. So, again, not really a huge threat for everybody. If I knew this guy so overrated, I would play different. Again, I'm not one to tell one way or the other about rating and all of that. So, I just have no idea. So, I would have no way of saying he's right or wrong. Everybody else in the comments can let me know. But I myself will not make any sort of judgment calls one way or the other. In the southwest, another crab goes down the pipeline. Going to take a while to get to the main base for red, and he has a monkey there, another monkey there, building an artillery now. And I make war on you, builds another experiment, so most likely a crab. Yet 1 crab, 2 crab, 3 crab, 3 crabs here for Team 2's. I make war on you. That SMD is not loaded, and it's about to load. If Team 2 loads and fires immediately, that might be enough time. It's going to be close here. That nuke might be the savior that Team 2 needs. Granted, they are really ahead in the mass department, in the map control, essentially 50-50. Team 1 has significantly slowed down in its expansionary efforts since the beginning of the, let's say about 25 or so minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I think once It's Not Me fell, then it's kind of been slowing down a little bit. Nuke is loaded. Is it going to fire? I don't know. Looks like it's still sitting there hanging out. Another experimental built for IMEC1U and probably another crab. 1, 2, 3, 4 crabs on the field for Team 2's IMEC1U. 2 chickens here for Team 1. And then, of course, the monkey, not monkey, but the crab down there. And, of course, we have Red's monkeys running around down here. SMD is now loaded, so this nuke will get shot down unless Team 2 can take out the SMD. Is there a point in Telly, says Scarecrow. Up Mexes, says Freshy, just trying to help his teammate be like, hey, as a reminder, do this. As a reminder, this is what's going on. The crab gets absolutely 2v1 destroyed. And the Strat Bomber Rush is inbound, going for that SMD. Some of them, of course, will get shot down, but that is going to crack the shielding. That's going to be a dead SMD. There it goes. Way too much overkill. Probably actually could have just killed off the nuke with that amount of firepower, but maybe they want to destroy it with the nuke. Launch the nuke immediately. Yes, there it is. Team 2 launches another nuke. And this is where it's always important to have a backup SMD. Kamer building a crab right next door with a bunch of hives. That's gonna go down. He's gonna die unless he moves. I don't even think if he moves now he'll survive. It would be close, but I think right now, yeah, way too late. That nuke is gonna land. Team 1 launches a nuke because they just know it's gonna go down. Unfortunately, the nukes pass each other in the air. Kaboom! Oh, there goes Team 1's a player of Kamer and a nuke launcher and a crab and a whole bunch of stuff. Nuke trying to land where the land army is. Unfortunately, it already moved a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a lot of it. And it's going to kill off some NGs. That's a war crime. Killing off NGs with the nuke, that is a war crime. But the not SMD, but the nuke for Team 2 kills out 85,000 mass. And, of course, that was a nuke launcher. That was a comm. That was everything in this nice little beautiful Venn diagram of an explosion. Kind of zoom out a little bit, get a little better view. You can see the Venn diagram. Anyway, 49 minutes on the clock, and is now a 2v1. Team 2 turned it around. It was 3v2 in favor of Team 1. Now it's 2v1 in favor of Team 2. And there is a desync, unfortunately, but we can kind of see the way this game is going. It says strats coming on your ACU, I guess. Oh, you can see the strats down here. Do they know where the comm is for Team 2? Because that could just make the difference. Oh, they're going to go for the SMD. So they're going to go for the kill on the SMD and then just load the nuke and destroy it that way. And that nuke is almost loaded. So it's either IMEC1U kills off Scarecrow due to Strat Bomb, either a nuke, or it looks like the SMD is going to go down. Again, they probably could have gone after the comm, but they just went after the surefire SMD approach. Scarecrow does have the teleporter and the laser and the T3 on board, so decent chunk of hit points. Not really any veterancy, though. So he does look a little chunky on his backpack, though, because of the teleporter. But there he goes. He's going to go for gun, and then he's going to teleport in, I think. I think at this point we're just going to speed things up to +2 because we kind of see the way it's going. Couple of Corsairs inbound because why not? Could go after the... Omni could go after the air grid. Looks like another nuke is planned for the air grid. So instead of just going for the comm, I guess there's another one back there. That's fair. They're going to go for the air grid and kind of eclipse pretty much everything in that nuke. It looks like the comm has initiated teleportation. He's going right here, going for the artillery that was just finished off. Unfortunately, Scarecrow goes into a lot of PD and brick fire, and there he goes. Team 1 loses their last remaining player, and that is a victory for Team 2 at 51 minutes and 41 seconds. And as I said, yeah, there's a desync. I mean, we saw that a couple of moments ago. But at that point in the game, would it have changed anything? I mean, probably not. I'd say highly unlikely. The Strat Bombers were pretty much already en route to the SMD. The nuke for the air grid was already underway or almost already loaded at that point. So either Team 1 Scarecrow lasts a little bit longer with a couple of shields and tries to stay online, builds another SMD. Maybe he could have held out for 5-10 minutes, but I do think the end was in sight, especially with this group of crabs. There's 4 of them up here, and there's one chicken. Another one was going to be built, so that's 2 chickens. and I don't think they would have made a third one in the time that those crabs would have gotten there. So the land army would have won, and it would have been essentially just a slow, not a slow slog, but it would have been a little bit of a slog to just essentially rip up the rest of Team 1's side of the map. So yeah, I feel like even with the desync, Team 2 wins this fight. Not SMD, but MVP, probably, I think it goes to I Make War on You. He did a very good job with what he was handed over from Freshie after his death. Yes, I would have liked to see an SMD down here to protect the air grid, but at that point he was doing very good with air. He kept air for a while after that, partly due to his gunships, but mainly due to his ASF. So he's very good about what he had and when to have it, when to use it. Of course, he had those strap bombers, killed off the SMD, killed off the nuke, killed off the other SMD, killed off, you know, a chunk of the, if not all of the air grid up here from Kamer with that nice little corkscrew maneuver as well. So he did a very, very good job with his air, even though he didn't really have a grid at the time. But let me know down in the comments who you would pick for MVP. Again, I Make War on You. That's my choice for MVP. Thank you so much for watching to the very end of the video. And as always, I'll see all of you in the next one.